What is going on, everyone? It is the Digital Cypha Podcast coming straight at you at another Saturday, soon to be Black Friday, soon to be Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's coming. Soon to be my birthday.
Oh,
That's what you're doing.
this is when he makes 19 again, guys.
Dude, I'm gonna be 17.
He's never been legal.
Crazy, bro.
Every year he tries to get legal and he never becomes legal to do anything but work.
Dude, I'm still waiting, dude.
His parents made
Still
sure
waiting.
they spoke to Doctor Strange. Not Doctor Strange. Is Doctor Strange? I think it's Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And he says we want him to go through that loop. That he wakes up every day.
No.
Yeah, man. But it's another Saturday, with the Digital Cypha Podcast, with the Don CJG and Dio Zales. What's going on, my friends?
It's good.
Mi
Good.
amigos.
It's another Saturday.
Mi muchachos.
It's 2 o'clock this weekend instead of 3 because
Oh,
it's daylight savings. It's
So
an hour early.
So it's already started.
Right.
Yes. You will be seeing some Forza Horizon 5 gameplay. It is the weakest gameplay you've ever seen, but is
Oh no.
let's look at the quality, not the no. Yeah, the quality of the game, not the quality of the player. Yeah, man. I don't know. Since I haven't played Forza Horizon 4 for a while, it felt like I had to. It's weird. Okay, so think about this. When you play Forza Motorsport, right? You're obeying the rules.
Yeah.
This game doesn't allow you to go by the rules. It calls to your inner rebelliousness on when it comes to road driving. You see a pinpoint on the map, you try to drive and realize that you can't drive, so you just go through the land masses to get there.
Hey, Boris is taking down the trees, bro. He's like, we trying to deforest Mexico ASAP.
Bro, you get points for what is it called? You get points for taking down the shrubberies, bro. Like, what is it called?
Yeah, the smack this middle.
It's called
Taking out
landscaping.
cactus.
It's literally the point system is called landscaping. So might as well take advantage, right?
Oh, 100%, bro. You gotta level up somehow.
I mean, you gotta jump over those hills and get that kangaroo skill too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was interesting. I almost see. Okay, everybody gave it a 10 out of 10, right? I gave it a 9.5.
Blasphemy.
Well, they sold me on something in the game that actually wasn't there because I think it was a bug, right? Because I was so happy when I saw it, So I'm driving, right? I'm trying to get to my point to start another race. So I get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you drive, you can go through it. You know what I'm saying? It'll pop up on the screen and says, "Oh, start this event," right? And then if you drive past it, it'll go away. So I drove and I slowed down to the point. And when I stopped the car, it began the event. I was like, yo.
I think that might be a...
And I was like,
in the sun. Is that near the start of the game?
I guess so. And I was
I think like the very start, like you kind of, I don't say locked in, but you don't get really choice about some of these things.
I got it.
I got part of the intro sequence still.
But it's a good feature though. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to press a button. You just slow down to it. At least give me 5 seconds and then boom, you're in. Or press the X button. So I was thinking like, oh, they let me in without having to press X. Man, one less click. You know how it is for websites. The more you click, the less interested you are in the website moving forward because you can't find what you want. I was thinking, man, the less, that's what I'm thinking. That's how I felt. And then I did it the second time. I was like, okay, it's not working. But it's all good. It's all good though, man. The other part that I don't like is the people don't look right.
People don't know. No.
Oh, really?
I mean, they look okay. No, like you pick your person, right? And I'm like, man, I'm the same black guy I was in Forza 4. They couldn't like change me up or at least let me, do some plastic surgery on this guy. I mean, like, come on, bro, like, And then they only had 2 voices. I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm as British as I was the last gen. No offense, but I was figuring, hey, they ante it up, because you actually hear your voice throughout the game. So I'll be looking for settings. I don't want my guy talking. I want them to announce me, but I don't want him talking. Mainly because I was like,
Damn.
no, I'll say it this way. He sounds weird to me. Like Don CJG, Don CJG, Glink, and all my other, British friends. He does. You guys are natural, but in this game, I'm like, yo, this don't sound right.
Well, I was, I've been playing Horizon 4 like relatively recently, and I think that's the same voice actor who did some of the events from that game.
Here's the
I think they just put him.
So there's the so I'm a black guy, playing a game as a black guy, and there's and you can see that they're definitely showing emphasis. They're emphasizing multiculturalism in the game, because of course you have the Mexicanos hosting the Horizon festival. There's who's the girl who was driving in the black car? She's black.
Alejandra.
But she even her like the accents and the person, regardless of their color, right? It just doesn't sound right. Like I think
they're all British people.
But I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. I've met black people who have British accents, whether they're from like the Northern America, right? Or they're from the UK, right? I got family members, and when they talk, they have either a heavy accent or they have like the influence of, right?
Yeah.
I'm listening and I was like, yo, this don't sound.
you know what it is, bro? This is like country English.
Really?
That's what this is what these accents are.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So so there's a city British accent, and then there's a country British accent.
Yeah, so like when you're in the cities, it's a lot more like urbanized and probably sound a bit more like me. Yeah, but I know someone who at my workplace, and they come from Buckinghamshire, right? And that's like, in the country. That's a real nice area. Now they speak we call it Queen's English.
Okay.
So that's when it's very like properly pronounced, like, oh yes, good morning, nice to meet you. That is, that's
where they get the cup of tea from.
yeah, for sure. And like, these guys aren't full Queen's English, but they're definitely, up on that scale. They're kind of like I suppose what the media kind of presents the English accent as. It's very proper.
Here's the thing. Playground Games is UK based.
Yes.
I'm surprised that they didn't have the diversity of British accents in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it's you could it must be strange from an American perspective, I suppose. And,
what?
You speak to British guys with cities and whatnot, or I know we've known each other for a long time, right? And
but
you hear this accent, and it's like, why is this? It's not English.
But you got that on and off switch, right? You know how to turn on, and then you got the UK swab going on. You work at Foot Locker, right?
Yes.
So you talk to the ladies, in the
yeah, for sure. There's an element of when to be proper, and when you can just kind of let loose and be a bit more like urbanized. That's fine. Like you said, it's on and off switch, right? But I feel like these guys are just constantly on polite mode.
Oh, okay.
Again,
which is fine.
It's not bad. The game is definitely awesome. It's just, I know my family who on the British side, and when I see certain type of cultures being displayed, I was like, that doesn't come to me that way. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, it's certainly not very accurate representation.
But it is what it is, man. The game is definitely cool though.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. It has a certain feel to it that if you're from the West Indies, you're gonna gravitate a lot in certain biomes, kind of like how it was was it 3 where it had like a rainforest?
3 was Australia, so yeah.
Australia, yeah. So they tackled a lot of biomes here, and it's pretty lush with color and foliage. I know that's kind of weird for people to actually imagine.
Yeah, like even right now, like I'm driving around in the jungle, in the mangroves, in a in a Ford Bronco, and it's so bright and colorful. It's crazy.
And they got that God rays in there.
Yeah, it looks so beautiful.
I know
Honestly, it's
Dio would like the God rays.
crazy.
He would stop and then look into the sky, hand over his head, and be like, "Oh, the light."
Oh yeah,
the
sure.
cinematic scenes. But yeah, man. So if you guys haven't, definitely check it out. So I purchased a premium package because I want those DLCs to hit my inbox ASAP. But Don C's AG, how did you get yours?
I have the game through Game Pass, and I just bought the premium package as an add-on. Separately.
How much was the premium package compared to the?
I think it retails at 40, but if you have Game Pass, it's down to 35. But then I use Microsoft Rewards to get it for 25. So.
Oh, there you go, guys. Microsoft
Yeah.
points,
So
Game Pass discount, and just being a gamer on Xbox, he was able to get that. Yo, isn't the achievements also play a part into the percentage, or has that been squashed?
Into Microsoft Rewards?
So back in the day, right? I think this is like ending the Xbox 360 era, going into the Xbox One era, right? When you made over a certain amount of achievements, you get like percentage off on your purchases. Is that still a thing? I think the maximum percentage was like 5%.
It's a thing, but I think it's slightly changed in terms of how you get that now.
Okay.
I think if you earn past a certain amount of rewards per month, you keep that status. But I think it's super easy. I think it's like 500 points, which is like.
I look like a class clown, man. You see how I look? I look like a class clown, bro. I'm just saying.
Dude, I was looking through the outfits yesterday, and I saw you could wear a crash test dummy outfit with the hazard signs on it. And it looks so hilarious with a cowboy hat, and I was like, oh my gosh.
You would definitely do that, and you would definitely do that. You would have the bean. You have the bean, Mr. Bean mask on too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right now I have like a cowboy hat, a leather jacket, some jeans. Certainly not Mexico attire, but I do look cool.
Gotcha.
So,
Oh man,
What's
hairstyles.
Dude, I went for the high top, bro. That's as 80s as I can find.
Yeah, they did like a good job in character customization compared to last game. You had a couple faces, and that was about it. You couldn't even change your hair color. So I was just so like blonde dude, and I was like, that's not me.
Yo,
Okay.
At this point, I got confused because I think I tapped voice 1 and 2, so I wasn't sure. Like, okay, is this the lady's voice, or is this the man's voice? And then I
click the preview button.
I did, but they both were going at the same time, kind of like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
oh,
Almost.
really?
So I thought, okay, if I press X, I'll hear it. But then when I went to the second one, I started hearing the lady, and then the guy spoke after, like a delay. So I was like, okay, I'm going for it, guys. I don't know what I sound like once I go into the game, but hopefully, I sound like a dude. But it worked out fine. All right, so let's get real. Netflix has released gaming on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's only on the Android devices, so they're doing their testing. But their people are playing Stranger Things 1984, Stranger Things 3, Shooting Hoops, Card Blast, and Teeter Up. This is as of earlier this week. So if they dropped a few surprises, that would be cool too. Like Harry Potter or whatever. But what do you guys think? Netflix making its move?
Yeah, it's I think there's a lot of kind of speculation on Netflix might do this thing eventually, but it came a lot quicker than I assumed it would. To be honest, and
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it's interesting what they're doing, and I think there's potentially a platform base on Netflix who would be interested in that. Certainly not me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
As long as it comes as an optional package and I'm not getting charged extra for Netflix games I don't want.
Gotcha.
True.
I think that's the idea, is that as long as you're subscribed to Netflix, those games will be available for you to play. So I mean, technically, I can test that now since I have like a Android phone.
Yeah.
But
I wonder what like their monetization model for this is. Is it just you get a gaming membership, or it's strange. I don't know where they're going with this.
well, they're trying to compete. That's
Yeah, I
that-
think that's just them bringing more value to their product. I would hope that's what they're trying to do.
Well, we also have to consider with our future topics in the podcast that Netflix is behind in joining into the gaming space.
That's true.
Oh yeah, very.
For them, it's kind of like, well, for the consumer, it's like a new thing. It's like, oh wow, yeah. But then from a corporate perspective, it's like, we kind of waited too late, because I think even when they were considering the idea, it's kind of like, should we not? You know what I mean? I think they were having those type of. I think the media was saying that they were still debating on whether or not they should get into gaming. And then it became a thing that they were. And now that they are, we start to see the shift in gaming, and they're kind of like behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny that we even say that. It's funny that we should say that they're behind. They only got 3, 4, 5. They have 5 games streaming on Netflix, and they're behind.
What are definitely
But
behind,
it's probably
because it only works on Android phones, right? So like,
Yeah.
if they really want this to be successful,
beta
which I'm
testing.
sure, yeah, exactly, they're beta testing, but they're gonna have to bring it to way more platforms. Especially the most important one being on like smart TVs.
But
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge.
it's true. Let's say that's the case. They still on everybody's device anyway, without the need of gaming. So once a game gets out there, it's going to become more evident that they can play at their own beck and call. The reason why I say that they're behind is because, the reason why I brought up their being behind, but then it really kind of dawned on me that even though they're behind, they're still in the now, but they're behind because Xbox has over 500 games, PlayStation has over 200 games on PlayStation Now. It's just not being released that way because they're still playing around with how they're looking at how PlayStation Now can still be prevalent as a subscription-based model. Like, they won't put their date and date games, like exclusive games, date and date, and they're dealing with PlayStation PC as we speak. So it's kind of like how we said this in the previous episodes. They need to combine everything, including collections, into a service, right? Because you're paying for PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus every year. Why not have PlayStation Now a part of that? Why not have collections a part of that? Why not have the discounts that Xbox provides a part of that? So now you feel the same benefits that Xbox gamers are feeling. I'm not saying that you need to be an Xbox guy to feel that. I'm just saying the corporation should be that competitive to say, well, anything you can do, I can better. That type of thing. But Netflix I don't want to say first release, but to me, it's their first release. Being on their own platform as a streaming platform, it says much. Even though I said that they're behind, they're in a right place to allow Sony to be a part of their platform as well, if that's a thing. Because the discussions where Sony doesn't have cloud, Netflix does. Well, not Sony. PlayStation doesn't have cloud. Sony has Azure. Sony and Microsoft are working together. PlayStation either has a choice and choose who they want to do business with, or Sony is kind of saying, hey, PlayStation, you have no choice. We're using a Microsoft Azure cloud. You know what I'm saying? So if it was me, I was running PlayStation and I want to be competitive, I probably would jump on Netflix first and see what Netflix has to offer, right? And if Netflix is proven to be a better cloud, service for my community, right? PlayStation community, then I'll probably do a lot more until Sony says, okay, cool, you can stay there, or we should have to shift gears and go to Microsoft, because Microsoft is dominating. Amazon, I don't know what Amazon is doing, but I haven't
They're
heard.
a weird kind of service.
They're what?
They're like a weird kind of service, like in between everything.
Yeah, when Microsoft does its thing, as far as like presentations, their keynotes, like you see everything that's going on, right? And you're hopeful for the future because of the Azure cloud, these systems, software as a service, VR, well, augmented reality, I should say, and products are becoming more, unified. You know what I'm saying? And you now feel a part of that ecosystem. Please excuse me, guy. This guy on his motorcycle is just. Oh. Yeah, his speakers. He has like subs on his motorcycle. So when he comes home, he's booming. So my apologies about that. But anyways, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see Netflix move this direction, following suit with Microsoft, PlayStation, and Nvidia Shield. We just need Google to step up. Honestly, I'm not sure where they are, but
I honestly think the biggest factor for Netflix to be successful in the gaming market is really understanding what their customers are actually going to play, instead of bloating up their, games with like a bunch of like action games or whatever. I think realistically, in my opinion, you would want to see like a lot of like Telltale type games, right?
That would make sense.
Story-driven things like that,
especially being an Android phone. Yeah,
biggest play. Yeah, or even like little kind of mini games like Candy Crush kind of stuff, whatever. Okay. I would say like a mix of those, and then move on to like bigger and better games.
Did you start Candy to see Crush?
That's what's gonna sell for a lot of their player base, in my opinion, because it's not a bunch of gamers on Netflix. I mean, there's gamers there too, but I would think that the majority of people on there are just casual like people who don't even game at all.
The kids, like the kids and the adults who just chill, lay at home, work type thing.
It's gonna be interesting brand recognition, right? 'Cause everyone knows Netflix. Like when you think of a TV show, movie, it's like, is it on Netflix? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the number one, right? You don't think, is this game on Netflix? Right. I mean, look, maybe they're gonna change perception, right? But it's gonna be an interesting to see how they shift that mentality of their users, if they can.
Gotcha. So the Blizzard lost a leadership co-owner. I guess it's a co-owner, right? Like a CEO of sorts. So it was Mike Ibarra and Jen O'Neill. They were supposed to lead Blizzard, Activision. Now they are doing good as far as sales is concerned, but they're still going through that lawsuit. And with the departure of Jen O'Neill, a lot of people are feeling kind of confused as to what's going on, and the reason why she left. She's looking into doing something to build equality with gaming and I want to say multiculturalism. If I could be wrong there, it's LGBTQ, Black, Asian, people of color, working in the industry, and the type of trials that these cultures face when just going through their normal day jobs. So she's looking to see what she can do to help. I want to say eradicate. That would be a good word for me, but that's a little too strong. I would say bringing hope to those people who are facing those issues. I know last year, or was it the year before, there was a company trying to unionize the gaming industry. So we're seeing a shift. The question is when. The question is how. And my hope is that it doesn't backfire, because certain things can be considered trendy, right? And people can make the wrong moves. I'm not saying she's not making a right move. You know, everybody's entitled to do what they see fit to better mankind in their own way. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not doing the wrong thing, you know. But she's doing what she feels is right to help people within her industry, what she grew in, to become a better, you know, to do better things, you know, the industry to become better, a better place to work.
Yeah.
So
for sure, I think it's a long overdue change as well, right? You know, we look at, I think Ubisoft and Activision probably the biggest two.
Yep.
You know, offenders on this thing at the minute. You know, I think, you know, we've all heard the stories. You know, we've all seen it.
Well, the game industry kind of exploded though when certain moves started to happen. People all of a sudden became smart on game development, right? We're talking gamers here, right? People started doing their research. People started getting into the how-tos. So now people started looking in positions and how, who, what, where, when, and how things are done, right? And now we're seeing a shift in the gamers demanding what they want. We're seeing employees demanding how they should be treated, and the misconceptions that we've been, you know, exposed to for years now coming to light. You know, we need people like that to open up the veil and to show the greediness, so that we can be able to make solid decisions. And that's like I said, I commend her for it. My bad. My bad. I think I cut you off.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I think, you know, I agree with what you're saying. Like, you know, I don't want to say that the industry's been unregulated. I don't think that's the right word, but, you know, there's an element of there's you know, this. I feel like there's kind of been an element of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you know, foundations. As I say, I don't want to say it's a new industry, but I feel like the giant blow up within the last 10 years. You know, things have changed so much to what games were, what they are now, and you know, the industries have, you know, look at developer studios, hundreds of people, man. You know, crunch and all this abuse and going on. You know, I think it's about time the change happened and we set the bar straight. You know, these are the rules, and we're doing this. You know, I think, you know, having that finally start happening is a good thing.
I guess I kind of look at it from a more pessimistic perspective. As
by all means, man.
So as like a former like Blizzard consumer, right? And all the stuff that's happening, I kind of look at it like she's leaving because there's just so much going bad in Blizzard that she doesn't want to take a fall for whatever else is going on over there.
But didn't she?
Because realistically, she just got there 3 months ago. But still, leadership, regardless of if it's your fault, if you're a leader, it's your fault, right?
So can we look at Mike Ybarra that way, since he just came from Xbox and now he's just jumped into a role? Okay.
Sure. Because I look at it like this, like she's talking about how she's not doing this because she has no hope for Blizzard. She's saying that it's the opposite. She's inspired by them, but Blizzard is not, you know, some small little company. It's part of Activision, so she can. There's plenty of power there to do whatever she wants to do. And I'm not knocking her for doing what she wants. Like you said, like everyone has to make their own choices. But it's not just this. It's all the other people leaving. It's the fact that BlizzCon got delayed and there's still no like actual date for it. There's still such a huge mess there that, you know, whether she doesn't want to take a blame and look bad. Like, I'm not even saying taking blame for like sexual harassment. I'm just talking about just in general, right? Like if games don't release, if games get delayed, it looks bad, right?
Yeah.
So if she sees how the next year or 2 years or 3 years, and she's like, man, this just looks like a really bad position. There's no point in me being here and being a part of this. Then why not? Especially because she was sharing her role. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was just her position. I think that's also a big part of it too, because her position was shared with what's his name, Ibarra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were like kind of sharing it. So maybe they kind of like drew straws. I don't know how they decided to do it. But
That's messed up. That's messed
I
up.
don't know. It just seems like a really bad position to be in. So
I can see that, yeah. Because I always been wondering about how he's going to take the helm from here, and then try. Because at this point, I can only assume, and I strongly say assume, that a lot of his meetings is dealing with lawyers and and all this other stuff, not to deal with gaming, but to deal with human resources, the employees, and the backlash. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is a gamer. This has got to take a toll on him. Just following his dream to get into Blizzard, to then take the helm and then have to manage a mismanaged business.
He's on mop up duty right now.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Let's be real. He's cleaning up the mess.
Well, the other thing
I mean,
too
I
is,
hope for the best, but we'll see.
the weirdest thing too, when reading, was she wasn't the only woman in leadership that left. I think there were other women in leadership that left too. So that leaves only one person, and that's Mike Ibarra. And can I assume they're the rest as males in leadership? It's interesting. And I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm imagining a woman or a lady who has gone through a lot in a house.
Okay.
And now that she owns the house, because the issues is done, like the pain is not there anymore, the house is still a pain itself. And it's time to move on. I need to make a new house somewhere else, because it's not really. It could be the situation with having to deal with the mess right outside the business, but on this corner, I knew who sat there. I knew what they did.
Yep.
In the cafeteria, I saw this happen, and I was disgusted by it, and I couldn't say anything about it. I'm not saying, again, we're not talking about anybody specific, but I'm just thinking about the psyche, about like how, these people had to have gone through, because someone did commit suicide in that business. And that's what sparked the whole thing. So, as males, as guys, seeing something cleaned up, we'd be like, okay, things are getting back to normal. But, what about the psyche of the opposite sex? You know what I'm saying? Who had to endure being quiet about certain things. So I don't know what the position was. I'm not speaking on anybody's behalf. I'm just saying some people may have been affected greater than we think.
For sure.
That's kind of, wow. So more power to you, Jen O'Neill. Do what you gotta do. And Mike Ibarra, we look forward to seeing success. We look forward to seeing a better Blizzard-Activision.
Yeah.
So, but here's the next confusing thing: is the metaverse. What is going on with the metaverse?
Dude, we're all gonna live in the VR, bro.
Bro, I mean, Facebook was so confident, right, in the metaverse that they renamed themselves to be Meta. Bro, I remember when the word Meta was like, yo, I'm so meta.
Yeah.
Now nobody wants that name. So I'm like, nobody wants to be associated with that name. Like, what's going on, man? Like, so when I think about the metaverse, I think of Ready Player One. Ready Player One is a movie, I guess, developed by Steven Spielberg, about a kid who goes into a virtual world, just proving himself. Because outside in the real world, he's a poor guy living in a trailer with his aunt with a deadbeat boyfriend. Right, that's how it works. And he figures out something that leads to something towards him becoming something. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it out, because I won't spoil it for you. But if you want to know about the metaverse, Ready Player One, Sword Art Online, the game, the show, because I don't know about the game. I would say the show. The show will get you more involved on the idea of the metaverse. There's some other games as well, but what's interesting to me is that there are games that are already in the metaverse itself. There are games that kind of encapsulate what metaverse is, and there's Halo, there's Fortnite, there's Minecraft. Flight Simulator was mentioned as well. And is anything that's multiplayer, like we can think Final Fantasy as a metaverse itself. We can think World of Warcraft as a metaverse itself. You know, I'm gonna let you guys talk because there's some more things flying in my head. Because I understand, but I'm confused at the same time, and I hope we can get a better understanding. You know, based on everybody's idea of what they think the metaverse is.
Yeah, well, like I remember last week I was asking what on earth is the metaverse, because I kept hearing about this, and I think, like you said, Ready Player One is probably the best way to kind of get a visual kind of image or a sense of what this could be.
Let me say this: don't look at the kid in the movie as the metaverse.
No.
Look at what you're capable of doing. What they did in the movie, like the features, the functionalities. It might look like special effects, but bro, okay, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like living in the VR, right?
Yeah,
that's essentially what it is. I think I said this last week too, but I don't know, man. It feels such like a weird. Maybe because it's not here and it's hard to kind of visualize something that doesn't exist yet. You
mean is not there? You guys like them, like you in Korea are probably like building this thing out, right? And South Korea, they're like the internet gurus over there. Like they got like 5G everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So they probably, what was it? When Fortnite released a new DLC, they had like, I think it was either in Japan or in Korea, where they had like one of the monsters coming out of a building. Like it was like VR, but you can see it in real time. It's a playable character, but he was going in and out of the, not like actually walking out, but it's like it's like a little hole in the building that he was just chillaxing, laying back, and then he got up, looked around at everybody, and then went back and lay down. And it was like a VR, like an augmented reality type thing in real time. Like you don't even have like a HoloLens or anything like that going on. You're looking at it in real time. So I was like, dang, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like the 2-pack hologram, bro.
Right. So regardless of whether or not you got the Oculus Quest 2, HoloLens, or whatever, you're going to be seeing a lot of augmented reality in real time as you walk around in real life. Microsoft is looking to bring augmented reality into the real world. Yep. Facebook is trying to bring the real world into augmented reality. And then Tim Sweeney, I believe, is trying to combine multiverses so that everybody can experience them all on one platform.
Yeah, like the metaverse, the idea, it just reminds me of like an MMO, like Final Fantasy, but you're in a VR and it's just I don't know, it's like a life game,
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of
exactly.
But
the thing about it,
maybe this is just me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appeal to me at all.
But here's the thing. Imagine you going to Foot Locker without going to Foot Locker and working.
Yeah, but when I come out of VR, I still don't have the shoes.
No, you don't have the shoes, but you got the money.
So those are the different layers of it, right? Like the metaverse has always been something, right? So like it really depends on the individual who's giving it that value.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at old games like ever since there was online gaming, the metaverse has been a thing based on that game and that community, right? Like if this community all plays, let's say EverQuest, that's their second life, right? And they're all involved in it. They're all making teams and sometimes even real life jobs. Like it might even be giving it actual real life, value by you give me this much gold for $10 or $100 or whatever it is. When it starts having that value.
Yeah.
What these companies are trying to do is now make this sit into the mainstream And the easiest way to make that to the mainstream is with VR, because then people who are not gamers and people who don't care to game or don't want to take it that serious will take it more serious, because now their real life stuff from Facebook, their friends and family in the real world is getting incorporated into it,
Exactly.
which is going to be more appealing. That's why, some stories or games will be more appealing to you as a person because, oh, I can relate to this character. And that's going to be the same thing with the metaverse. Like, it's easy for someone like me to play Final Fantasy 14, and that's like my metaverse, as opposed to what they're trying to do is just like incorporate literally everything and make it like a true metaverse. Where it's gonna be pretty insane. From my understanding, I think Facebook is literally hiring like 10,000 people in Europe to work on the metaverse. At least they're
he said it's not there. He said it's not there. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, and they're not the only company. I mean, like we were saying, Microsoft, Epic Games, Roblox.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft is doing it through they're trying to make shopping and supply through what is called dynamic. Let me see what it's called. It's called dynamic connection spaces, and that's meant for retail shops and supply. I guess you're gonna be using either real money or cryptocurrency. And then there is the Microsoft Teams using Mesh, where if you don't want, how you have the blurred background or you have like your green screen to just fake where you look. Yeah. So you can do that with your entire body. Actually, you just become like an avatar that speaks to people pretty much. It looked kind of weird to me, honestly, but Microsoft is not about the weird. They're about building concepts and then improving them over time through payments and subscriptions. So.
I would say if you want to see a good representation of what the metaverse will be, if it is incorporated the right way, will be this game called Second Life.
Okay.
It's a pretty old game, but it's literally having, like the name entails, a second life. Like, people have literal relationships and buy real estate and sell real estate in the game and services. It's pretty crazy how in depth it is.
Like life simulator.
It's complete life simulator. I mean, way more than The Sims, way more than any MMO that's out there. Like, this is literally a second life, like how it says.
Is it big?
Weird.
Is it a big thing, or is it like a niche community?
It's a pretty big thing. Like people make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of the game.
You're talking about gamers. Gamers make that much.
Yeah, because like you have people actually sell. I mean, you're using in-game currency, but there's people who swap it for real life currency as well. And this game has been around, I think, since 2003. What's up, Don?
Why are they selling in the game to make money?
Because people will put that value on it, right? Like, because in a game, you can be that millionaire, and other people are like plebs, So
I'm just so baffled. Like, am I able to make a metaverse painting and sell it for £1 million?
Well, they're talking about NFTs.
If you have that notoriety, yeah.
I mean, there are games that are bringing NFTs into the game, and you can buy NFT in game. Like, I think Fortnite is doing that actually. The problem
of games are
I'm sorry, what was that?
A lot of games are starting to add it, like even Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Dead by Daylight's doing NFTs.
Yeah. So they make the NFT and you buy, but you don't own what you buy. I mean, it's like a second. It's like, hey, you don't own the game, we just license to you, and then they just bring this NFT, and then boom, you don't own what you buy again. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, what are they putting in? What NFTs are people putting in Dead by Daylight?
It's like, so in Dead by Daylight, they're selling NFTs of like Pyramid Head skins. Not Pyramid Head, Hellraiser.
Hellraiser, yeah, the spiky dude.
Okay, so it's like UGC basically.
I mean, realistically, the NFTs are like literally like buying digital like baseball cards, right? When you think about it, but you run the risk of possibly like losing it. But like at least with baseball cards.
Wait! You snickered and laughed in the background. We losing it? What?
Yeah, because how could you trust a company?
I got you, but how do you lose it though? Forget the company. How do you lose? Is it because like you upgraded so you no longer have it? Like how we deal with like
so many other weird ways, right?
Okay.
Like you can have someone hack into your shit and steal it from you,
bro. Bro, I'm imagining Dio's like, go buy it. And he's like chuckling
Hell
with his
no.
hand over his face. He's like, you're not going to get it for long. They're going to rip you
Dude,
off.
Dude, I wouldn't even do that to my worst enemy, bro. Like, if anyone asked me, like, oh, should I invest in NFTs? So, like, if you want to risk it, sure. But, like, I would just put your money in stocks or gold or even crypto is way more safe than that to me.
So, here's the thing. We understand that when you mint something, that is your NFT, right?
Yes.
But you can lose what you've minted.
I'm just saying, like, if hackers out there can hack into your,
I mean, yeah, it's digital.
into your coin purses and stuff like for crypto, I'm sure they could do it for NFTs.
And you're just bringing food for thought. You know,
yeah. I don't know for sure. I haven't heard it.
It's not solid fact about what is happening, but is about what possibly can happen when you use your hard-earned money to ride a wave. Even though it could be a proven fact, a proven currency, a proven way of life, it still has its risks, as everything else does. So to be mindful about it, So the other thing that is real confusing about the metaverse is the difference between 2D and 3D. Have you guys seen anything about that?
No. This is all new to me.
So okay. So the thing about it is when they started talking about turning games from 2D to 3D, I was thinking, oh, so Mario Brothers 3, Mario Brothers 2, Yoshi's Island, Dr. Mario, Kirby, like old Nintendo stuff,
Yeah.
They were mentioning Fortnite and Halo and Minecraft and Flight Simulator. I was like, okay, let me switch my perspective. Let me change my position.
Oh yeah.
Is it because that we're playing it on TV while it's considered 2D, even though the world itself is 3D? So now you're trying to.
It's just like if you were to play, like, I guess this would be like kind of the easiest example, right? If you play Skyrim on your Xbox, that's still going to be 2D because you're not experiencing it like from your own real perspective. Even if you play in first-person perspective, it's not really your perspective. But if you play Skyrim VR, now it's actually 3D because you're actually interacting by moving around.
Peripheral visions. You can there's things going on behind you that you can interact without having to turn the TV around. I mean, not the TV, but your character around.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Don TJG.
So like,
there was a pause, and I can feel
Don is like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this mess stuff, dude.
Don's like, you guys are making shit up now.
I was like a closing comment, right, on the Metaverse thing. If we're moving away from it, is it essentially a life game?
Yes.
A life VR game. Okay.
Yes.
That's the end goal.
That's the end goal.
Okay.
Because it's according to Facebook, it is not a game; it's an experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, of course they're gonna say that. Okay.
I wouldn't. No, but it's true though. They don't want it to be a game because at that point you're labeling it something, right?
Yeah.
They want people to be able to take it how they take it, because then it opens it up to more people.
Yes, that was what I was
But
gonna say.
essentially, it's just VR life.
It's by saying it's a game, you're closing off a set of people who don't like games. Yeah, it's like saying that you watch cartoons. Like, oh, you watch cartoons, man, you should watch real shows.
Well, it's not even just that. Like, the metaverse eventually will probably be to a point like how like in Ready Player One or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you'll be kind of like in a menu, right? Like in real life on the metaverse helmet or whatever. And you'll be like, well, I'm gonna go down this hallway and go play Halo VR or Halo Metaverse. I'm done with this. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go to school and study for a little while. I'm gonna go here to Meta Facebook or whatever they're gonna call it, and look at my timeline. Like, it's just gonna be so interactive. You could let's
get deeper than that. Let's go deeper than that. Consider the person who's doing a research on specific mindsets, whether it's gaming or relationships or friendships or whatever, right? And that person is an inclusive person. They're a stay-at-home person. They go to a metaverse, right, where they can see a whole bunch of people, with a different avatar, right? And speak to people, ask questions, and not feel ridiculed, except for what that person looks like, right? Because of course you chose an avatar. You might want to look like an orc. You might want to look like an elf. You might want to look like, a small little chubby furry, Pikachu type of looking thing. You know what I'm saying? That talks to people. You know what I'm saying? But you're interacting with people who are experiencing the same space as you. The only thing that you have at your disadvantage is how well you communicate to the psyche, right? Like you and I are talking, right? Don, Dio, I've seen what you guys look like picture wise, but I've never experienced. Man, you're the golden boy in the UK, bro. That's hush. But we've never experienced like, hanging out, going to the pub, driving, movie, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like dudes, we haven't experienced that.
So bros hanging out.
So taking that to the VR, or taking that to the metaverse, where Don, you show up like the dude from Shanghai, you know what I'm saying, with rings all around you, ready to break up some stuff, or maybe James Bond, and you got your car on the outside.
Dude, I have an idea.
What?
When the metaverse launches, can we be like the Metaverse podcast, like Digital Cypha Podcast in the metaverse?
This is what we don't talk about. This is what we don't talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, I just think about it. No one's gonna go through the archives,
But that would be a good thing. That would be a good thing. We just gotta, we'd be like what's it called? Suede in the morning.
Bro, we'll be like the Digital Cypha experience.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We'll take out Joe Rogan, bro. We'll be fine.
No. So, my only thing is that I'm kind of not feeling Facebook, because they took it kind of on a different level. It's almost as though they made themselves the genre, because I feel like the metaverse is going to become a genre of itself, or unless it already is. You know what I mean? Like there's first person, third person, action adventure, and then there's metaverse.
I look at it more like the metaverse is gonna be what smartphones are to like old cell phones, right? Like old cell phones are the internet, and then smartphones are the metaverse. It's gonna be like that much of an upgrade. Like
dang.
If you're using
why you gotta hit us like that, Dio? Why you gotta hit us like
all in on the metaverse, bro?
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. I mean, if you're on the internet and you're not on the metaverse, it's gonna be like, what are you doing? Like that's old. And you can look at you like a boomer. Okay,
bro.
Boomer.
I wish I can put that emoji of mind blown, man. That emoji, mind blown emoji. I wish I can put that on the video show. Like
that guy, right? The glasses.
Exactly. He does it 3 times because he doesn't. His mind is just constantly being like. He's like, my phone, metaverse, 4K, metaverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting, and it's. I don't want to lean into Dio, that was facts. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't even know.
Oh yeah, we don't know.
That could that could be like, and Satya Nadella probably listening to the show and be like, bro, that was the closest but the furthest of a clean definition of metaverse. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool though. That's cool, because as long as the concept is there, the consumer will be able to understand and then buy into it. Or negate from it. It's by choice. It's choices. So.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Dio, I'm gonna turn the show over to you, sir. I think me and Don is kind of like on a whole different level right now. Like we don't even like, if we had something to talk about, we don't know how to go into that next topic right now, because like we're still. I
feel like you were trying to segue us out of it. My was right back in.
No, I wasn't trying at all.
Yo, that is interesting. I have nothing, bro. Like,
well, dude, this has been the Metaverse podcast.
Well, we kind of touched on the Azure cloud. You guys heard that Sega's gonna help, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not like any like big news about it, but they did announce that they're gonna be working together, Microsoft and Sega, which I'm all about like that.
Was
That
it
makes me
super
happy
game?
to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got apparently it's a bunch. It's called a Super Game Initiative, but it's supposed to be like a whole bunch of unnamed games.
Okay.
So it's not just a one game. So we'll see where it goes. I know Miss Sarah Bond was like, you know, really happy about it when she announced it. Just saying how they've been partnering throughout the years.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to it as a minor little Sega fanboy.
Yeah.
I mean, other little things were like, I mean, this is more disappointment right here. Cyberpunk 2077 roadmap, of course,
2023?
delayed. No, I mean they keep saying it gets delayed and delayed, but like the updates and improvements and free DLC, that's all going to be in 2022. And I mean we already knew that it was going to happen,
Yeah.
but it kept kind of like saying, oh, it'll happen in November, oh, it'll happen in December. So now it's like 2022. Just kind of give up, guys.
They might as well push the game to 2022 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should just not announce any release dates and just give people what they want, and that is the fixes, the and certain features that to keep the people in, and then surprise you with the DLC. Like that's, to me, like the Apex Legends makes perfect sense in this situation where they should have kept their mouth shut, do what they need to do for the community to keep the game living, so that people like you and I, like Dio, Don, can play the game, right? And then hit us with that surprise DLC. Because even putting Witcher into it just devalued Witcher in my mind right now. Like the Witcher's not gonna get anything till next year. It's like, why do you even mention that?
I think it's just such a weird thing to do also because, I mean, Cyberpunk is not a live service game.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, a roadmap makes sense in a live service game where it's like, oh, okay, this is when the raid's going to come. Oh, this is when the new DLC is going to come or whatever. Like, I mean, you could have it for single player games, but I don't think it's as necessary. I think you should definitely have communication with your fan base, because the people who are hardcore are going to go to the forums, they're going to go to your website and check it out. But I think a roadmap is kind of overkill, especially when it's not just Cyberpunk that's suffering right now. Like you said, The Witcher also from all their mismanagement. So I think that I agree with you. I think they should kind of keep it on a lid and give information as it comes.
Because now it'll be like one of the top 10 delays that never happened, and then they'll be a part of that list. I mean, it's funny, but it is true as well. I mean, this is what the media, and what I mean by media, because I'm going to include influencers on here. Whatever boosted ratings, you're going to put it on your show. Top 10 failures of 2021. Top 10 games that got delayed. Games that should have never been delayed. Games that deserve to be delayed. You know, I mean, these are the things.
Cyberpunk's on every single one of those lists.
And Marvel Avengers too.
All right.
So, wow.
Call of Duty Vanguard's on it.
Yeah.
Have anybody tried
Marvel
it yet?
Avengers.
No.
Okay.
No, there's no point.
I played the
for me.
beta and that was a travesty.
Oh wow.
I've not heard good things about the full release. So.
Wow. Interesting.
I just don't understand how it sells so well every year. To me, it's just such a milked franchise.
Yeah.
It's just,
you know what it is? It's just a shooter. You know, everyone just knows Call of Duty. It's like it's gonna. I can blow stuff up. I can shoot guns. I can just have a good time. Call of Duty is just a casual shooter, and it's just got that market cornered. You know.
You know who's being quiet?
For sure. Who's that?
Smilegate Studios and Remedy.
It's true.
Xbox is still invested into Crossfire X.
Yeah, is that supposed to be coming out this year, apparently?
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out this year. I would not be surprised if not. If it gets delayed, nobody would care, right? The reason why I would say that, not as a negative, but it is not a spotlight item to the point that people will be like, I'm waiting for it. Like right now, because of their partnership with EA and the Battlefield, that has more spotlight. And if that game gets delayed, it will be.
No, did you see the ray tracing trailer for that game?
Nah.
It probably should get delayed.
Dude, even the trailer had like it was running like
Frame rate
20
issues.
FPS.
No
Yeah,
way.
it was pretty bad.
What?
It was disgraceful.
I was really
Yeah.
surprised.
There's nothing you can say,
Like-
yo. Like, jeez.
It
Yeah,
really
it's
should be
not looking
delayed.
good.
Wow. Interesting. And here's the thing. Because of that partnership with Remedy and Smilegate, that gives Crossfire X the ability to sneak underneath the radar and pull an Apex Legend. Like Halo, not even Halo, like the Xbox. Was it the Xbox Series X on the Jeff Keighley show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause boy was he surprised when he saw that. He himself didn't even know. You know. So wow. Anything else, Dio? Like what
Well,
else
I
you-
was like kind of alluding to Marvel Avengers. I know like Don wanted to talk a little bit about it, right?
Yep. And Marvel's Avengers, bro. The XP drama continues.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is up with you, Don?
Obviously, mate. Hey, listen, it's we're an hour early, bro. We're in spooky hours.
Okay.
You know.
Wow. This is not even morning, it's afternoon. Did you drink something?
Dude. No.
All right.
Mhm. But yeah, I think it was like 3 weeks ago they added the controversial XP boosts into
Uh-huh.
the
Yep.
Avengers. And they went their whole time without saying anything about it until this week. It's been weeks. They had multiple blogs come out and tweets, and they like just completely just ignored the fact they were selling XP boosts. You're like, oh, don't worry about it. But they finally addressed it. Recently, I believe they said, "Yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. Sorry."
Yeah, man. There was an outcry, and that outcry was
Yeah.
pretty loud.
People were not happy about it.
Which is all time. It's great to see players sticking together and doing that when it
Mhm.
actually works.
And console gamers, to be exact, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same across the board for like PC, but for console gamers to voice their opinion, like I said, we're seeing that shift. I mean, within the past 5 years, we see gamers saying no. To,
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
to companies.
Because
and that's good.
honestly, PC gamers were usually way more, vocal about their opinions online because it's right there for them right on their computer. They could just go in the forums. Where a lot of console players kind of didn't know that was really a thing. And I mean, realistically, you have to know that Marvel Avengers is more of a console-centric game because of Game Pass
yeah.
and now because it's on the PlayStation now. I mean, in not their defense. I mean, I'm glad that they're taking that away, but it's nice that we were just talking about bad about roadmaps, but this is a live service game and they just released a roadmap.
Mhm.
It looks like they're bringing some stuff. They're finally bringing a raid, which is nice.
Who
Bring
is this
some.
again?
Finally bringing Spider-Man 2. He's coming.
Spider-Man is coming for the PlayStation only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Marvel. Gotcha.
Didn't they
Yeah.
announce that like Spider-Man like a year and a half ago too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's weird to see that he's just finally coming out. I would have thought that he would have came around the same time as the Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
since he's only PlayStation exclusive. So unless it's gonna be a time exclusive, I don't really see why they would delay it past that. But and they're also increasing the power level. So like if you want to grind more gear, that's gonna be a thing for people to do.
Alright.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wasn't there like whole thing they didn't see XP boosts as pay to win because because it wasn't really like a versus game. So
Yeah,
Craft
exactly.
was like, yeah. I mean, I understand their reason, but it's still like, come on, guys.
Yeah, it's just the fact that they promised in the beginning that it wasn't gonna be a thing. I think if they didn't do that, maybe less players would have had a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that and then how they treat the power levels. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the power levels, but how you grind for them to me kind of felt like once you beat the game, it just felt kind of like it was dragging. Like
Oh yeah.
The world map. Now it's been a long time since I played. I think the last time I played, I beat the game. I got the game day one, beat the game, played for like a month, and then I haven't turned back. So that's what, 2 years? Or was it a year?
Oh, I thought you played some Black Panther too.
I did, but I didn't beat it. I got to the point where we're in the home city for the Black
Okay.
Panther. All the Avengers are there, and then I turned it off.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
like
I've been
I
to
mean,
go back to that game. I just haven't.
it's not like okay. First, I'm not. It's not that I don't like the Black Panther. The Black Panther is very awesome. I found him a little clunky to play with, but as a character in the game, definitely awesome. As far as just going to the motions of playing him in a Marvel game, it just felt too. If the game felt like he existed in a game that pre-existed that I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So the world didn't change, just the character.
Was it his combat animations that were bad for you?
A little bit of there's a little bit of the combat animations, not all of them, because it was pretty. What he does is pretty cool. It just felt like I had to relearn certain things. Like I wish there was a way before I started the game for me to actually learn how to play him. You know what I mean? Because once I felt I could be wrong here, but once you chose to play as a Black Panther and do story, you went in. I didn't check to see if there was like a training area for him. You know what I mean? Like how there is for Thor and for Iron Man. You know, you have to go through so many trials and then you get stars or whatever for accomplishing stuff. I would have liked to do that, but I don't think I give it the chance, and I spent about an hour to 2 hours figuring him out on his first level. I died multiple times.
Oh, no.
It was a roguelike experience for a Marvel game.
Oh, damn.
So that's where my mind has been. Like if we team up, I would jump in definitely. But by myself, it is too boring for me to jump in by myself to feel like I'm getting anything out of it. That's, I mean, like if you like right now, I got some things going on, but you know, let's say you jumped in and I got some time, I jump in and I play definitely. You know what I'm saying? Because this is about that co-op. You know, that trumps single player anytime, as if it's drawn out like that. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea solo. I would replay the main story again than to play single player and a multiplayer game. That's where my mind is at.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna happen. I'm too involved in Final Fantasy 14 now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, this is it. I feel there's a lot of like great games that are out right now, and like coming back to Avengers for me, it's just been difficult.
Yeah.
Now Horizon's out too. You know, I'm deep in Horizon. Aiming for next month.
Again, the story is good. Definitely do the story just to accomplish that.
Yeah, this is the thing. I've enjoyed what I played. I just didn't get back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely feel different. Like Skyrim Anniversary Edition comes out next week, and I'd rather upgrade to that and play that than play Marvel Avengers again.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I play Skyrim to death, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's coming with a lot of content.
I know why you're jumping into that, sir. Because Morrowind and Oblivion missions are going to be in that joint too, isn't it?
Yeah, they're adding a lot of new content. It honestly, the price point is what I expected. If you already have the special edition, it's going to be $20 upgrade.
That's not bad.
Which is not bad. And if you don't have it at all, this whole inclusion is going to be $50, which is still not bad.
What if you have the legendary edition?
You could just upgrade it to $20.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it made the price point that I kind of expected. And honestly, it gave more content than I expected, because when they first announced it, I really just thought it was going to be all the Creation Club stuff, which is still going to have, but they actually came up with more stuff for it, which actually really surprised me.
So regarding the Skyrim then, when thinking about, because Skyrim's leveling system is different than ESO's, right? And what I mean by that, meaning from a simplistic perspective, not getting in deep with the whole points and champion points and stuff like that, but how you put the points in, right? Skyrim had you going into the sky. You was doing all the constellation. When ESO first started, I think they did it, but they had 3 different types. I could be wrong. So, like, from a lore perspective, why is the constellation different, or are they going to unify that moving forward?
I just think it's just a game difference because I mean, even in Oblivion and Morrowind in the older games, you didn't have any constellations or anything like that. So it's just a separate, gaming like system that they both have.
Got you.
I would say that ESO kind of borrowed from Skyrim in that respect with the champion points, but it's still very different. I would be more interested to see how Elder Scrolls 6, when that comes out, what kind of leveling system they're gonna have because of ESO and Skyrim. Are they gonna take a little bit from each, or have a completely different one, like how Morrowind was different than Oblivion, and Oblivion was from Skyrim?
Gotcha.
I think like ESO is kind of not that it's set in stone. They have changed it over the years, for the better or the worse, depending on who you ask. But we'll see. I mean, I think this will kind of keep people pretty satisfied for a while because these upgrade prices are also for like PC players and for PlayStation players. I'm not sure about the Switch if they're getting an anniversary edition. I'm pretty sure they will, but I haven't seen any talk about that.
Gotcha. All right. So, guys, we're wrapping this up. It's been awesome. We talked about some stuff, some weird stuff, according to Don CJG. You know what I'm saying? But before we close off, you got any Halo news for us, sir?
Ooh, always am I.
What's going on in the Haloverse?
Dude, we're deep into marketing. It's begun.
Yes.
That has been
some very emotional stuff happening over there in the marketing.
We're in deep, bro. Yeah, I think they dropped a trailer. I think 4 or 5 days ago, like Unspoken, and they're doing this campaign of trailers, which is very similar to like the Halo 3 Believe stuff, where they're taking these like real life people, like these live action actors, and telling a story about the game and like their impact on the world, and it's great, dude.
It looks like they those characters, those real life actors, right, were actually, you have this feeling of them actually being UNSC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they have really took it home for how we can I want to okay, first and foremost, I have never played any of I only played a multiplayer, right? I'm not an insider or anything, but I feel like these characters, how they're showing this off, I'm starting to wonder if the campaign, if you're going to be involved in different lives in the campaign, because there were situations in the game where you had to save some troops who were being held captive, right? There were situations like that going on. You had to take down certain types of factories or whatever in the game. They showed Master Chief blowing up a reactor, I would assume that would have been, right? Can we see a multi-layer quest where when you do this happens, and by doing that this happens, so this person comes out of hiding and now you gotta go take out that person? You know what I'm saying? There are multiple enemies on the ring, so what you do affects everyone in different ways. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm guessing you kind of give me like Shadow of Mordor kind of
almost, right?
Almost, yeah. I'm wondering without calling it the what is it called? The something system? Nemesis system? Yeah, without calling it that.
I think to some degree. I think they said like you can play the story like through the golden path, which is mission by mission. You can do that. And I guess you'll hit like the major story beats in like Spartan Killers, wherever they are. But I think if you're going through taking out these camps and you're exploring the world, you're finding data discs, I think you're definitely going to get richer experience through that. So I do wonder to what extent we're gonna unlock it. I don't know. I try to wonder how this like Nemesis style system would work in Infinite. So my interpretation at least was that these Spartan Killers gets me through it was counting through the main story anyway. But I suppose with these bases, I'm sure that will have some kind of impact on the world. To what degree? Don't really know. I think they'll probably just be more for getting unlock tokens, for your equipment and whatnot.
Hey, Dio.
Yes.
Is there a game out there, a single player game that has a service-based system? That like Halo Infinite is gonna be in, right? That has events on rotation. Like imagine
single player.
Yeah, like imagine Skyrim, and then when you play it through Skyrim, a domain comes down and does stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not an MMO, but it's a it's a service. Cause I wonder if that's gonna be a thing too with Halo. Is like,
I don't know.
It has the I don't want to say blueprint. You can see it happening based on the trailers.
There's potential.
Yes, that's what I was going to. Yeah,
and possibly with expansions you could get something like that, but I don't think it'll be there personally.
Okay.
I don't think there's like actual like completely single player games. I think every game that has live service updates to an extent has some kind of co-op feature. Like even like Genshin Impact, right? Like it's mostly a single player game, but it does have co-op in there because with a live service, in the end of the day, the bigger point of it is to like make money off the consumer by microtransactions or whatever other things they have there. And if there's cosmetic microtransactions, of course you want to be able to show it off to your friends, right?
Right.
So I think they could definitely put it into Halo Infinite for the campaign. It would just be really dependent on how multiplayer is, really brought out when it comes to co-op. Like, is it, we're just gonna really have to see how in-depth multiplayer is.
The one game that comes to mind, now that I think about it, is the Division, the very first Division, or Division 2. Because they actually have events going on. It's not like, it's like, one-time event. It's kind of like multiple events that happen in certain districts, and when you do them, you get certain things.
Yeah.
And
but even I think that's still a multiplayer game. It's a foundation, though.
No, I mean it's a 4-player game. Halo was supposed to be 4-player.
Destiny has the same. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It just depends of what they reward you with in Halo, right? Because I don't think they'll ever go to power level route. You have like you have in Division or Destiny. But I can see cosmetics, but I think that's going to be really based on their battle pass system. So I think that it would do it kind of like how Master Chief Collection has like your PvE side of the battle pass for the points and like your PvP points, right?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Even then, by judging, like they did the battle pass reveal yesterday on IGN.
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah, it was an article. It wasn't like, honestly, it was nothing new, to be honest. If you've been following the game, it's not really a lot of new information. But yeah, they're basically saying like challenge systems, just multiplayer XP challenges, so I don't know, get 10 kills in this weapon or whatever, or play a match as capture the flag. So I don't, from my understanding, they've not even said anything about any kind of campaign challenges. I know people online are asking about that, but I think with Master Chief Collection, part of the game is that you've got a lot of these older titles, and it's part of the magic of MCC.
Yep.
So I think those challenges got integrated into it because of that. But with Infinite, I think this progression is solely gonna be multiplayer, and I don't see them straying away from that, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's going to be depending on how much they build on Infinite's campaign. That's really what it's going to come down to. If they keep releasing DLCs, then they could probably add something like that. But if they add it in the beginning, it definitely will grow stale because you're just going to be recycling the same campaign missions.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely said like, there is stuff to come, but they not really said what that is.
Yeah.
But, there's so much speculation what could be. But until they like really say more, it's hard to even
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is the Digital Cypha Podcast. Man, we talked about a lot today. It's about to almost hit that 11:30 time frame on our end. That's so you say it's 2:00 when we started, so you're looking at that 3:30 time frame, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
It'll be 3:00 next week, back to normal.
So again, this is Ebonics with Dio Zales and the Don CJG. You know, wishing you guys a awesome weekend. Continue gaming. You know, learn more about the metaverse because it's coming soon. Oh, it's already here. We just gotta know about it, right? So definitely keep your ears out there and get knowledgeable about it because it's gonna impact us. You know,
Get
and
your
our
Forza
kids.
Horizon 5 pre-downloads in too, bro.
And our kids. So
and on Game Pass.
The future. So, all right, guys. You have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.